Good morning, Morgan. Good morning to any of Morgan's friends that have decided to watch this video with us. We're doing this video a little differently because the code we're running will not be code that we usually do in what is this thing called? Visual Studio. Okay, we're going to be running scripts today. Right. So, specifically modules as scripts. So that means we're going to be doing things a little differently. I want to go ahead and get into the code, and then we'll elaborate on what they talk about later on. All right? Okay, let's go.
Python Training Video 30. Executing modules as scripts. When you run a Python module with Python.
Okay, so this is what you're going to put in to, I should say, we're going to put into a terminal session. We'll talk about that later on. And this arguments is a placeholder. You would replace that with either numeric or script data, depending on what the module did. You might even have more than one variable being inserted, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Let's continue with the reading.
The code in the module will be executed just as if you imported it, but with the __name __ set to __main __. That means that by adding this code at the end of your module.
Okay. Now, this bit, I don't know why you're switching this. But I don't need to. All I need to know is that I need to take this little bit of code just the way it is and insert it at the end of every one of my modules. And then I can call the module not only from my Visual Studio session, but we can call it by itself using from the terminal. Okay? And we'll get into that more of that later. Let's continue.
You can make the file usable as a script as well as an importable module, because the code that parses the command line only runs if the module is executed as the main file. $pythonfibo.py50. If the module is imported, the code is not run. Import Fibo.
Okay. I don't know why that $sign is there. When we get to the point where we're executing the Fibo module that we created in the last video, we're not going to have that there. Okay? And then this is just, how we were doing it before, importing it. This imports it if you're importing it into your code in the Visual Basic. Okay? All right, and let's just finish this video off. Uh-oh.
This is often used either to provide a convenient user interface to a module, or for testing purposes. Running the module as a script executes a test suite.
That's weird. I thought it was a female voice before. Anyway, that's beside the point. What is important is that we're done with the reading, and now we're going to go ahead and move on to the code. Okay. Now, here is the code that I've prepared for this video. And as you can see, everything's commented out, okay? Because we're not running this code. But here's our module, okay? Copied over from video 29, but look what I've added here, okay? And that's what we need to do. Now, this thing is located, this copy is actually in the folder with everything that goes with this particular program or project, I guess. Okay? So what I've done is I've taken this and I've made a copy of this, but I've put it someplace special, and we're going to talk about that right now. Excuse me. All right, Morgan. So this is what I've done. I've gone in here under View, and I've clicked on Terminal. And that has brought up that they call the developer PowerShell, which is your terminal. Okay? And this is how we're going to run our modules as a script. But I'm going to have to start to introduce you to some DOS commands, as ancient as they are, so you can have an idea of what's going on here. To see the path, C drive, users, John, source, repo. All right? Now I'm going to go dir, which means I want to see all the folders underneath repros. Boom. Here are all my project files. Okay, and then there are files under here too. Okay, but the ones that we're interested in are the things that are in the user-defined modules. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to try and input that code from the document into here, into the terminal. See that Python, blah, blah, blah. Boom. Uh-oh, not in the directory. Change directory. You have to spell this out exactly. Don't forget to leave. Don't forget the S. Boom. All right. See, now the path, file path, is a little longer. Let's see what happens if we try and run the code now. Da, da, da. Ah, look, it worked. And that's pretty much it for this video. Now, if we hadn't put that little bit of code at the end of the module, this would not have worked. We'd have gotten some kind of an error. I think it discusses the error in the reading. But anyway, that's that for today's video. Go out and have some fun. Don't try not to hurt yourself on that one-wheeler or by getting kicked by any horses. Anyway, love you. We'll talk later.